Coming up next, newly released body camera footage of a shooting that wounded a San Diego police officer in Forest Ranch.
An Amber Alert continues in Southern California for a 13-year-old girl and a suspect with ties to San Diego.
If you're struggling to pay your mortgage or property taxes, there's help available. We'll walk you through how to get that relief.
In a landmark ruling by the Vatican, the Pope will now let priests bless same-sex couples. We'll explain what that means.
Arrests made in a series of liquor store and delivery driver robberies, but police believe there are more criminals out there. The increased reward being offered today.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
Newly released video shows a deadly situation unfold in Forest Ranch, where a San Diego police sergeant was hurt in a shootout. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan. Carlo's off tonight.
I'm Marcella Lee. The shooting happened on December 7th. The suspect died, but the police sergeant who was shot survived. CBS 8's Steve Price is here now with more on what this new body cam video shows. Steve?
Yeah, and Jesse and Marcella, this video actually shows just how quickly a situation can turn violent. Several officers had their body cameras rolling, so we do have multiple angles to show you, and I want to warn you, the images here are disturbing.
San Diego Police, this is Evelyn.
A 911 call December 7th from a woman who spotted her stolen car in the Rouse parking lot at Forest Ranch. Police say it was taken during a domestic violence incident a few days earlier. Officers spotted Curtis Harris in the store. The caller warned officers Harris usually carries a gun, and when they tried to confront him, Harris took off.
Hey, Curtis.
Harris ran out of the store.
Hey, come here.
Where he was confronted by Sergeant Anthony Elliott, who followed Harris into a shopping cart corral. The video shows what appears to be Harris reaching for a weapon before jumping over a wall and firing the weapon at Sergeant Elliott. It appears in the video Harris then pointed his gun and fired in the direction of another officer before running away. At least 3 officers returned fire, hitting Harris, who fell to the ground and later died from his injuries.
Still got the gun in his hand. Hey, back up, back up. He still got a gun in his hand.
In the chaos of the moment, officers didn't immediately realize that Sergeant Elliott wasn't standing there with them. A few seconds later, an officer asks if everyone is okay, and that's when they discover Sergeant Elliott is missing. Sergeant Elliott was hit in the head and rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but take a look at these pictures we received today. He had a special visitor yesterday in his hospital room, Chopper Jr., and you can see Sergeant Elliott is not only alert, but smiling and petting Chopper Jr.
And that is nice to see. Fundraisers have been set up to help Sergeant Elliott and his family for a variety of future expenses. They're going to have uncovered medical bills, a home rehabilitation gym is going to be needed. They're going to want to fly some family members out to take care of his 2 young sons. His kid's just 1 and 3 years old. And for more information on that, go to our website, cbs8.com, click on this story, and we'll have a link to that there.
Oh, it was so nice to see the photos of him
and
Chopper Jr., the dog. I know so many people were concerned about the sergeant and being such a young dad.
Yes.
Were any of the other officers injured?
So we saw how many shots were fired. We saw what appeared to be Harris pointing the gun at the other officers, and more shots were fired. The good news is no other officers were hurt, but when I had a chance to go through the video, I did see that there was a bullet hole in the front windshield of one of the police cruisers. Wow. So, you know, and of course this was in a parking lot of a supermarket, yes, late at night, but still there were other shoppers there.
We frequent that grocery store, and sometimes, you know, you get done at the gym, it's 11:30, you go pick up some essentials. I mean, it was really, it did turn violent so quickly.
Yeah, you saw when he came running out of the store, how quickly the sergeant came after him and the shots were fired. So yeah, if other customers had been going into the store at that time, obviously they would have been right in the middle of that.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to see that one officer at least is doing okay in the hospital, recovering. So thank you, Steve.
Thanks for breaking that down. A judge ordered the man accused of threatening someone with a screwdriver and leading police on a chase to take an anger management course today. William Williams was in court this morning and pleaded not guilty. The 47-year-old was caught on camera confronting police on Newport Avenue on December 17th. That was before taking off in his truck. December 7th, rather. Officers later caught up and arrested him. He was released on bail. In order to stay out of jail, a judge says he has to take anger management classes. He faces several charges, including assault with a deadly weapon. The
FBI is offering a $10,000 reward for information on the whereabouts of a 13-year-old girl. She's been missing for more than a week now from her mother's home in Brawley.
As CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, records show the 44-year-old man suspected of abducting her has ties to San Diego.
The Amber Alert signs have lit up San Diego freeways since Thursday, displaying the license plate number of a gray Mercedes sedan, 5ZFS158. Police say the vehicle belonged to the family of 13-year-old Rain Gonzalez in Brawley, California, just north of El Centro, who has been missing for more than a week. Now the San Diego FBI office is offering a $10,000 reward for information that helps them locate the teenager. The FBI says the girl was abducted by 44-year-old Lorenzo Carlos Guerrero on December 10th from the family's apartment complex in Brawley. Guerrero has previous addresses in National City, El Cajon, and Los Angeles, according to public records. San Diego County jail records show federal agents arrested Guerrero on burglary and drug charges in 2020 and on a parole violation in 2022. But the California Department of Corrections declined to release Guerrero's parole information at the request of the San Diego FBI. Federal court records show he has a 1999 conviction for importation of more than 240 pounds of marijuana at the Tecate border crossing, and a conviction for escape from a federal prison in Kern County in 2000. According to the court records, in 1999, Guerrero's mother lived in a house in Tecate, Mexico, and his cousin lived across the street. A co-defendant at the time lived in Chula Vista. Family members of the missing teenager are scheduled to attend a vigil tonight at the Christ Community Church in El Centro. CBS 8 reached out to relatives, but the family was too upset to speak on camera. If you have any information on the whereabouts of that 13-year-old girl, call San Diego FBI. David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Still have some holiday shopping left to do. You're going to want to keep your umbrella handy.
Rain is coming. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chain is here early with a first look at the forecast. Carlene?
Yeah, we're looking at chances for rain throughout much of the forecast. So all the way into this weekend, I know a lot of people have been procrastinating.
Is it scattered or is it like distinct times that they're going to come through?
Well, the first wave is going to be scattered. That second wave, that's more of the concern, and that is going to be more coming in late on Wednesday night and taking us all the way through about Thursday. We'll get to those details coming up. But when I set the clock in motion, you can see those chances start to ramp up by tomorrow morning, and you're still seeing those all the way into Wednesday, especially in the overnight hours, and then staying pretty elevated all the way through about Wednesday evening. So when we set the clock in motion, this is what I mean. This is more scattered. That's what we're dealing with right now with a nearby low pressure system bringing some rain to Northern California. So a few isolated showers overnight. You're seeing that a little bit more concentrated as we hit tomorrow morning around 7:30. You're seeing that for most of the coastline, even moving in towards Ramona as well as for Palomar Mountain around 7:30. Then gets concentrated a little bit more for North County with Fallbrook and Escondido. That's around 9:30. But that's scattered in nature before we get the big stuff moving in with an atmospheric river the second half of the week. We'll get to those details coming up. Jesse, Marcella?
Thanks, Carlene. A landmark ruling from the Vatican. The Pope now allowing priests to bless same-sex couples.
It's the latest step yet the Roman Catholic Church is taking to try and be more welcoming to LGBTQ+ Catholics. CBS 8's Anna Laurel is live outside St. John the Evangelist Catholic Church in University Heights to explain tonight. Anna?
That's right, you guys. It's important to note that nothing has changed about the church's position on marriage. It's firm opposition to gay marriage. But here at the St. John the Evangelist Catholic Church, they actually have an LGBTQ ministry. And the director of that ministry says this announcement from the Vatican is a radical shift in policy that makes the church more inclusive to the LGBTQ community.
It's groundbreaking, and I don't think the significance can be overstated.
Tim Foley is the director of the LGBTQ ministry at St. John the Evangelist Catholic Church.
I met him today after the Vatican announced Pope Francis formally approves of letting Catholic priests bless same-sex couples. That means same-sex couples can receive God's love and mercy through a blessing from a priest.
A blessing recognizes that something's holy, that it is loved by God, that there's worth to it. It's an acknowledgement that, number one, that civil unions exist, that civil same-sex unions exist.
The blessing is not the same as a blessing in a formal wedding ceremony. In fact, the Vatican statement says blessings should not be done in conjunction with a civil ceremony, gay or straight. These blessings are not blessing the same-sex relationship, but Foley says this new rule makes LGBTQ people be seen by the church.
What it's saying is that who you are, how you identify, doesn't preclude you from being a member of the church. It's a step forward for tearing down some of these walls that have made people feel like they can't be part of the church, or made people within the church feel like we can't accept LGBT people.
The LGBTQ ministry at St. John the Evangelist Church is one of only a few such ministries at parishes in San Diego. Foley says almost every Sunday people protest outside against the church's welcoming LGBTQ policy. He hopes this new rule from the Vatican shows people everyone is wonderfully made and loved by God.
It opens the door, and again, it's teaching people that, gay people, LGBT people are part of our family, and it's reversing a lot of these destructive teachings that were there before.
Now again, this document from the Vatican reaffirms that the church believes marriage is a lifelong union between a man and a woman, and quote, there is no intention to legitimize anything, but rather to open one's life to God, to ask for his help to live better, and also to invoke the Holy Spirit so that the values of the gospel may be lived with greater faithfulness. Out here at St. John Evangelist Catholic Church, I'm Anna Laurel for CBS 8. Guys.
Anna, what does our local San Diego diocese say about what the Vatican announced today?
Well, of course, when this came down today, even this director of the ministry hears that he was surprised. They weren't expecting that. So we reached out to our local San Diego diocese, and they say they too are just reading through the documents. And so they sent us that so we could see it in its entirety. And they're not ready to make a local reaction statement to us yet, but we'll be checking with them, with them again in the coming days. Marcella.
Thanks so much, Anna.
Still ahead tonight, where to get help if you're falling behind on your mortgage.
Plus, hundreds of families get a chance to grab gifts and meet Santa thanks to a local police department.
The El Nino is knocking on the door, and that means heavy rain coming to Southern California. But are you ready? I'm Sean Stiles. I've got some tips coming up in an Earth 8 report.